Yes, guys, make sure you're following the GBFC Telegram. The link is in the top of the description. In the end of this month, I'm going to be giving away one of my exclusive GBFC hoodies with only 100 of them made, coming to you guys on sale soon. As well as that, we've got a signed shirt by none other than Chelsea's main man, Cole Palmer. If you're not in the Telegram, you can't win. Link at the top of the description. Let's get cracking. Yes, guys, welcome back to another video. Welcome to the George Benson Football Channel. I hope you guys are doing good. In this video, we're going to go through Chelsea versus Newcastle. We're going to talk about the big talking points here, which is that Pochettino wants to deliver Chelsea a trophy in his first season in charge. We've seen where that has gone with new managers in the past. I want to talk about my feelings with that. I want to talk about the Lewis Hall situation, which is once again another confusing one as a Chelsea fan. And I also, of course, want to build my Chelsea lineup to hopefully go out there and reach the semi-final of the Carabao Cup tonight. So, first things first, I want to talk about the Carabao Cup. I want to talk about my feelings about the competition, Pochettino's feelings about the competition, and why for Chelsea right now, this really could be as good as it gets, and we should put everything into making it as good as it can possibly be. My feelings on the Carabao Cup have always been, as a Chelsea fan, when we've won Premier Leagues, Champions Leagues, FA Cups, I've always not really cared about this competition. However, in a footballing sense, I've also got perspective. I know that if you support Stockport County and you get to the fourth round of the FA Cup, that dream is probably as big as it could get in your lifetime. Totally get that. As Chelsea fans, we've been absolutely blessed beyond comprehension with the amount of medals that the players have won, trophies we've seen lift over the head, those moments of elation. So now, when I accept where the club is at, when I think about where the club is at, the Carabao Cup does become that massive trophy that you look at and think that really could be as good as it gets, realistically. Chelsea are nowhere near as good as some of the other teams in the Premier League to compete for European trophies right now, Premier League trophies right now, and probably also the FA Cup too. We've got Preston in the third round. We should win that one at home. But to be quite honest, for any of us to sit here with any real confidence about winning trophies right now could be a little bit out there as an idea. And I've been told many times that you're too optimistic, you believe too much in... Nope. I said to you guys in one of the last previous videos before this one, I know there's not been many. I'm done with that now. I am coming realistically at you as much as I possibly can. Mauricio Pochettino has also said in the build-up to this game that this is a trophy that Chelsea should be looking to win and that he wants to win. Good. If there was any Pep Guardiola-isms from Pochettino about belittling this trophy because we're chasing a Conference League spot, mate, I'd have been absolutely fuming. Pochettino knows that winning a trophy for Chelsea is not only expected, but it can also become the catalyst for future successes after it. We saw in the new Abramovich era, winning the Carabao Cup with Jose Mourinho was the springboard. With this new era that we're in now under Todd Boehly, we're looking for any kind of spring, let alone a board right now. We're just looking for anything to give a bit of belief within the club, to give a bit of belief to the players that they've made the right moves coming to Chelsea. They're young players and that there is something here that can see them reach, achieve, and experience success. So for me, beating Newcastle tonight, making it to the semi-final, is imperative. Newcastle are a really good team. They've not been in the best form. I think Eddie Howe is a brilliant manager. I think they're a brilliant football club. And I think as well, it's just as important here for Newcastle to win this competition, to taste that feeling of lifting a trophy, to really sustain the progress that they've been making, reaching the Champions League. I didn't think they'd do it last year. They did it. And in order for them to get back into contention, to make that again, I think they need those extra games. They need those quarterfinals. They need those semi-finals, potentially finals, to give everyone at Newcastle a buzz. So for me, this game is just as important here for both of these two teams, which is why we have got to go in this with the strongest Chelsea 11 that we could possibly field. There's also talk at the moment that Christopher Nkunku could be ready to play 20 minutes in this game tonight. So for that reason, I have not started Christopher Nkunku. And I also think that, yeah, it's the busy Christmas period. We know that. We've not had European football. Newcastle are playing a bloody hell lot more football than us, so I don't want to see people rested tonight. We're not good enough as a squad, as a club right now, to be resting the strongest players to give us the best chances to go ahead and beat a really good Newcastle team, who battered us, by the way, just a couple of weeks ago. The other big talking point surrounding this game is that Chelsea have allowed Newcastle to field Lewis Hall, who is probably a better left-sided player than anyone fit enough at the club for Chelsea right now, which is absolutely mind-blowing to me. There is a lot of conversations about what is the obligation. Is it that Newcastle have to play Lewis Hall a certain amount of times in order to be able to trigger this mandatory buy clause? At this point in time, I don't really know. People that we having a negative feeling and agenda towards Chelsea right now will go down and say, well, can't believe the club are letting them do this simply to be able to go and sell him for that pure profit conversation again. I don't know exactly what the clause is where Newcastle have this mandatory obligation to buy Lewis Hall. There's a lot of people saying a lot of things, but I think it's foolish of Chelsea. If Lewis Hall is still a Chelsea player until next summer, I think it's crazy to allow Lewis Hall to play against us because he is better quality than a lot of the players that we've already got at the club. So that's foolish from my perspective, but it is what it is. If Lewis Hall goes and scores the winner tonight, I'm sure we're all going to melt down again in the 6 Things We Learned comment section after the game tonight. So, without any further ado, we are going to go ahead and build this Chelsea starting 11 that I think should be good enough to use the fact it's a quarter final. It's at Stamford Bridge. If this was at St James's Park, by the way, I would be so not confident about this. But based on everything I said in the build-up to this moment where we build the team, we've got to be up for this. And if you're going to the game tonight, make a load of noise. This is a quarter final. This is a cup we want to win and a cup that we want to use to springboard us further through this season and through the Todd Boehly era, the Pochettino era. So, without any further ado, Petrovic is the goalkeeper. Didn't have very much to do against Sheffield United at the weekend. Comes away with a clean sheet. And again, as much as he'll know that he didn't have a lot to do, it's also a massive moment for him. Coming to a club like Chelsea, he's not had a sniff, even in this competition, all season long. Sanchez is out, and he's made high-profile errors. His distribution is absolutely shocking. He's out injured now. This is a moment here for Petrovic to grab that Chelsea shirt and prove that he wasn't just another young player bought in to sell for profit in the future. Make that shirt yours, mate. We move into a Chelsea back four. I'm going today with Malo Gusto, Thiago Silva, Benoit Badiashile, who, by the way, is a Rolls Royce of a centre-back. I'm sorry. Badiashile is brilliant. And Levi Colwill is my left-back. Ben Chilwell is out. Mark Cucurella is out. It's not ideal. Levi can play in that position, and I'm sure in years to come we'll see him played in his correct position at centre-back because we either buy better left-backs or not injury-prone ones. That's where we're at with that right now. Benoit Badiashile, though. I want to talk about this guy for a minute. At the moment, it looks as though Thiago Silva will not be staying at Chelsea come the end of this season. Probably is the right move. We saw against Newcastle, that is where the high-profile errors started to appear. And Badiashile, for me, is just looking like that player that can absolutely be a Chelsea centre-back for many years. The scorpion kick, by the way. This guy's 6'4", scorpion kicks it to control the ball and take the ball out of the back with possession. This guy's got it all. I've said it from January when he came into the team and was playing more frequently. This guy can do it. He's a ball-playing centre-half. He's an aerial threat in a team that have not been scoring goals from set pieces and have been struggling to defend them as well. This guy has to play every game for me right now, as long as he's fit in the Chelsea side. And Malo Gusto back in at right back. It's a strong defence if you look at it. I'm happy with that. We move into a midfield 2. And I'm going to rest Enzo Fernandez for this game here. I don't think Enzo plays. I'm going with Gallagher and Moises Caicedo. Gallagher was really good with the pressing in that game against Sheffield United. Even in the first half when Chelsea were poor, he was looking like the most likely player to actually get ahead and make something happen. Caicedo's numbers were also very good. Wasn't dribbled past, attempting long balls, breaking up the play. I thought Caicedo had a very good game. If it was 6 Things We Learned, I didn't do it after the Sheffield United game because there was just too much happening this week with Chelsea, leaving forward into this one. I'd have given him a green box. I thought he was excellent, and I think with all the games coming up, Enzo's not been looking fit. It makes sense in my head to drop him for this one. We move into a front four, and I've gone with Raheem Sterling on the right-hand side, Cole Palmer playing in a number 10, Mudryk on the left, who I think in the last couple of games, his ball control has looked a lot better, and Nicholas Jackson going forward. And I can't help but laugh when I say Mudryk's ball control is looking better. With that being said, as much as it's still not like just raising the roof of Stamford Bridge and taking us all off our seats, he's got that ability, but we need to see more of it. So take the positives where we can. Nicholas Jackson also scored at the weekend. Other than that, I thought he had a very poor game, and he leads the line for us up front against Newcastle. I believe that this game is going to be all about Chelsea treating this like a cup tie. Chelsea need to look at this opportunity here to make it to a semi-final of a major competition. Forget the fact we've been Champions League winners. None of these players on the pitch have, but forget that. Forget the fact that we have been challenging for titles, FA Cups. This is the Carabao Cup. It's the bottom of the rung of that list. Forget about all of that. This should be about going out there with pride at Stamford Bridge and giving us another opportunity to be in a semi-final, a two-legged semi-final, where we can make it to Wembley to lift a trophy. These players tonight need to look at this as a redemption moment to beat Newcastle, who arguably provided the most humiliating scoreline of the season, although the Man United performance was significantly worse, in my perspective. We got to go out there and try and do one over them. They've not been in brilliant form. Yes, they won 3-0 at the weekend. They were very good. But they've also been up and down. They've been playing a lot of games. They've been playing more matches than we have. The same in the Premier League, but European football, massive games. Milan, Dortmund, PSG. Let's go out there and hopefully make the most of the energy that we might have. Christopher Nkunku to be introduced towards the end of the game, I hope. When Pochettino says he can play 20 minutes, I believe that that means that is the maximum he will play. I know that we want to be getting excited about seeing Nkunku start maybe, about seeing Nkunku get a second half or half an hour. If Poch says he can only do 20, that's probably the absolute maximum that he'll be able to do based on what we're hearing from the manager. So, I think this game goes to penalties. I really do. I think it's going to be 1-1. I think it will go to pens. And because I really want to be getting optimistic, excited about Chelsea again, I think this is Petrovic's night. I think the Chelsea goalie is going to win it for us on penalties. He's a big boy. If you've seen the wingspan of this bloke, you think he's a bloody albatross, all right? Hold on to that. I'm probably going to be wrong because I'm a bit out of touch at the moment with football, with Chelsea and everything else. But Petrovic is going to win us this game on penalties tonight. And I will see you straight afterwards for 6 things we learned. Make sure you go and check out the previous video from a couple of hours ago, by the way, where I go into the lunacy that is the potential of Chelsea selling Gallagher in the January transfer window. Check out Shootout. Link is in the description. Eunice and I are filming a couple of videos to go out today as well. So you're going to be seeing my face everywhere again. It's always like this. I'm either posting loads of vids or no vids. So yeah, enjoy it.